Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to rs.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1. What are you qualified in? I am not qualified in anything. The highest qualification I got was GCSE music and that was a B and I was really gutted. I really wanted an A. What breed of dog do you want? So I had a Springer Spaniel and I think I would have a Springer Spaniel again, but they are definitely they're hardworking dogs. And ideally I think if I could have chosen a different life for Maggie, I would have had her on a farm, working and doing what she was born to do. Tag the prettiest person you follow. The prettiest person I follow, I feel, is Hazel Nutty Games. I think she is stunning and she's recently cut her hair and I just think she looks awesome. I love her personality. I love watching her videos. Her aura makes her just gorgeous. I think she is such a bright human being and to watch her brings me such an amazing level of calmness. She's got a lovely voice. She's just so caring. You can see how she is with her animals. And that makes her like so beautiful. What are you hoping for this Christmas? Not a lot. I'm hoping for not a lot. I actually just really I don't want to go crazy at Christmas. I feel like Ian and I tend to go quite we go quite big at Christmas and we like to spoil each other and I really want to kind of pull away from that. I want to start doing smaller Christmases and saving our money and being able to use that money throughout the year. So hopefully not a lot this Christmas. What's your favourite season? So I've only recently discovered this. My favourite season is autumn. I used to I think I said this before somewhere. I used to jump on the bandwagon of, I can't wait for the sun. The sun's shining. I love it. I love it when it's warm, but I don't. I really love it when it's raining and miserable and cloudy, and I just feel so cozy. And I love the autumnal season, but the seasons are kind of shifting now. I feel like winter is way more autumnal, and like March, April can be more wintry with the snow and everything. But yeah, give me like 3 autumns and 1 spring, and I'll be a happy girl. Who's your favourite author? One of my favourite authors, I've got quite a few. I really like H.P. Mallory, Jenna Showalter, or it might be Gina, not sure how you say her first name, Cresley Cole. But the first author that I read that I just thought, wow, books are so good, was L.J. Smith, who was the creator of the Vampire Diaries. And I loved their first book series of The Hunt, the Chase and the Kill. I read it when I was maybe, I don't know, like 13 or 14, and I just fell in love with the characters and I fell in love with the author's style of writing. But right now I'm reading like a 10-book series and I'm on book 6. And it's okay. It's by H.P. Mallory. It's not her best work, but I'm getting through it because I like the premise of the characters being set from Never Never Land and Fantasia and all that. It's pretty cool. What is your favourite Christmas film? I don't know if I've got a favourite Christmas film. Why am I thinking of the one, is it What Women Want? Isn't that's a Christmassy film, isn't it? Was that based around Christmas time and he could suddenly read all women's thoughts? Why do I feel that that's a Christmas film? I guess they put it on one year and I watched it. But I do really like Elf. I think Will Ferrell is hilarious in that. He's absolutely brilliant. But I am one of those people that when it gets to Christmas time, I like to put the telly on and just find the cheesiest films, Christmas films that are on, and I'll watch them back to back and I'll just love every second of it. Do you care what people think about you? Not really. I used to. I do with this like whole social media thing, like I still find it kind of scary at times that I'm sat here filming and then that video goes up on the internet and like everyone can see it. That sometimes I get like this feeling of dread about that and I don't know why. Um And it's not that I'm worrying about what people think of me. It's like I don't realize quite how exposed I am by doing that, if that makes sense. I used to really worry about what people thought of me, and that used to cause me a lot of anxiety. And I think most people go through that at some stage in their life, where you go through like the first part of your life feeling pretty invincible and just making wild decisions and having fun. And then suddenly you hit this point where you're like, oh, I don't feel so confident all of a sudden. And you kind of go through that period, and hopefully you come out the other side better or worse. I feel like it's like a 50-50 thing. Um, but yeah, I did used to worry about what people thought about me a lot, but not so much now. And as you get older, it does get easier to just not worry so much about that. And like before, if I'd go to a restaurant, and that used to be one of my biggest, like everyone's looking at me. I felt so self-conscious eating in front of people. I just used to feel so like I just used to think people were watching me and thinking about me and judging me. And it's a very like is it like an egotistical type of, but you can't help it, and it would give me like this severe anxiety about doing things like that. And now when I go out for a meal, I still feel that. It's not like I don't feel those feelings anymore, but I've learned to manage them and accept them a bit more. I think as soon as you start um when you stop trying to push against things that you're feeling, and you start riding them instead, that's when things start to get a bit easier. And I feel like that with anxiety and, intrusive thoughts and thoughts about people and what they're thinking of you. If you kind of ride with it and just see them through and just accept it as a part of your personality, like the last Q&A I was saying about how I'm really shy, but I don't feel like I need to challenge that. I don't feel like I need to change that. And it makes everything a lot easier. It makes just functioning a bit easier. What topic could you spend hours talking about? The voice. I could talk about the. I'm not qualified. I'm not a vocal coach. I've never taken. I've not taken a single singing lesson in my life. Um, I just love it. I love doing it, and I love learning about it, and I love talking about the voice with other people. And I do find that I'm the kind of person that I tend to go down the rabbit hole with how the voice sounds, and I try and explain that to like Ian. I'll be sat there going, look at all these different ways that you can say and sing the vowel E, and how you can make it bright and dark and round, and he's just sat there like, yeah, interesting. But I literally I feel like I have to share my excitement with this with everyone. I could talk about it. I could talk about the voice all day long. Do you believe in ghosts? No, neither do I, but I still don't know how I came back. Interesting. Spooky. How old were you when you learned how to ride a bike? I think I was about 9 or 10. I remember my first bike. It was an Apollo Cristal, it was called, and it was white. And I remember going to the shop with my mum and dad and my bro, and I remember sitting on this bike. I think they'd already chosen it for me. It was beautiful. And I remember sitting on the seat, and like when your legs only one touches, so I was like rocking from side to side on the bike so that I could keep one foot on the ground. And I can't remember if it had stabilizers or not. I don't think it did. But I remember thinking, this is like a big girl bike. This is a proper bike. And I loved that bike. That bike got me everywhere. I used to go to the library every Tuesday on that bike. And I remember my friend Matthew trying to teach me no hands. He was so good at it. He used to ride along just biking and doing this with his hands. And I'd be like holding on for dear life. Um, but yeah, I think I was about 9 or 10 when I first learned how to ride without stabilizers, I guess. So that is it for this Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to ars.fm/Sharmalade, and I'll do my best to answer your question. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you very soon. Bye.